Hey, everybody. Week 2 of the DolphinsTalk.com Gambling Corner brought to you by BetUS. I am Mike. This is Tom. And folks, last week was week 1. And I hope you listened to us because if you did, you had a 5-1 week against the spread. You know what 5-1 means against the spread in a week? That means money, folks. Cold, hard, cash, money. I hope you made money with us. But if you didn't, this week you will if you just listen, because we're more than just a couple pretty faces at the end of the day. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm good. I am sorry that blemish is from me picking those stupid Mountaineers against Maryland. Rule number 1, especially the Dolphin fan, you never bet against a Tagovailoa. Ever.
Never, ever. But this week we have a new slate of picks, and we also have NFL action this weekend. So we're going to get right to it. And folks, I swear to God, listen to us. We know what we're talking about. And to place your bets, go to betus.com, use the promo code DolphinsTalk, and get 125% sign-on bonus, 125%. If you're paying by crypto, use the promo code DolphinsTalk200 and get a 200% sign-on bonus. So without any further ado, let's start off with the college action. And we're going to start off in the SEC. South Carolina, -2.5 over East Carolina. Last week, East Carolina, they only ran the ball for 86 yards against Appalachian State. Let me say that again. They ran the ball for only 86 yards against Appalachian State, and they gave up 226 on the ground to Appalachian State. That's a bad combo because it's freaking Appalachian State. This week, they're playing a real school from a real conference, and boys, it's gonna get ugly. South Carolina is going to dominate the offensive line. South Carolina is going to dominate on the defensive line, and it's only 2.5 stinking points. Take South Carolina, like 2.5 over East Carolina. Game number 2. Here's an old rule in college football. When you find a team that stinks, bet against them each week. I don't care what the number is. And folks, UConn stinks on toast. UConn's terrible. UConn, the past 2 weeks, lost 45-0 to Fresno, and then they lost, to Holy Cross. They lost to Holy Cross. Not in, tiddlywinks. In football, they lost to Holy Cross. So lay 34.5. I know it's a big number. UConn stinks on toast, and lay 34.5. The Boilermakers will win big at UConn. And for the third game, what's rule number 1? Like I just said, find a team that stinks and bet against them each week. Well, no team stinks more than UMass. UMass last week lost 51-7. That makes it, going back to 2019, in 7 of their last 8 games, they've scored 10 points or less. UConn ain't going to score a stinking point. They are brutal. They're horrible. They're atrocious. They are Cameron bad. That's how bad UMass is. And Boston College last week, they showed me something. You know what they showed me? They got a coach who don't mind running it up, as they won 51-0. So you got a coach in Boston College who loves running it up. You got a team that can't score. 37's big, but in the big picture of life, it ain't that big. Take Boston College, lay the points. South Carolina -2.5. Purdue -34.5. And Boston College -37. Tommy, what's your picks?
All right, let's get right to it. We're going to go right into Happy Valley, folks. Penn State -22 over Ball State. Why Penn State? They came off a slugfest against Wisconsin last week, and now they're playing against a team in the freaking MAC. So -22 is a gift. They're at home. There's going to be 100,000 maniacs in that stadium, and they are going to be pumped after that upset last week in Wisconsin, which, by the way, that pick hit for me last week on the under. That was a guaranteed stone-cold lead pipe lock last week for that one. But Penn State is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games overall, including that win against Wisconsin last week on the road. And Penn State held Wisconsin to 10 points, even after giving up 359 total yards, and was on the field for 42 minutes. They still found a way to win that game, and Penn State is also 6-1-1 against the spread in their last games played in week 2. That's right. It's week 2, and it's Ball State going to Happy Valley. Trust me on this. Take the 22 points. This is my favorite pick of the week. Why is it the favorite pick of the week? Because it is the University of Buffalo going into Nebraska covering 2 touchdowns against a awful Nebraska team that for some reason can't get out of Scott Frost's contract for the last couple of years because that guy cannot coach in Nebraska. Buffalo is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 non-conference games. You heard it right. 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 non-conference games. Nebraska is also off to really slow starts in their first 2 games, have only averaged, that's right, 3.5 points in those 2 games. They scored 1 touchdown last week, and that's it. 3.5 points. They get off to slow starts. That is always good news for a high-powered offense like Buffalo. And Buffalo is also, wait for it, 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 games after accumulating 450 yards or more in their previous game. So Buffalo being a juggernaut from an offensive perspective, they love to run the ball. They have a good mix with passing game as well, where they can put up a ton of points. I expect this game to be close, which is why 2 touchdowns makes a ton of sense. Last but not least, Georgia and University of Alabama Birmingham over 44 points. Why? Georgia is 5-1 against their spread in their last 6 games as the home favorite, and they're coming off a monster win against Clemson, who seemed to be unbeatable the last 4 years, has finally taken a loss in the regular season. And with that, Georgia is going home, and they are going to their fans. That place is going to be also menacing for a smaller school team like UAB. And the other is the over is 4-0 for Georgia after accumulating less than 170 points or 170 passing yards in the last game. That, my friends, is easy money. Georgia should run that score up on UAB.
Absolutely. So there's this week's college picks. Now, before we get to the NFL picks, we got some announcements. Like I said, betus.com. Everyone go to betus.com. Promo code Dolphins Talk. Get 125% sign-on bonus. It's free money, folks. If you're going to gamble with BetUS. They are the best in the business. Also, if you're into gambling, later tonight on this very YouTube channel, Josh Katzker, along with David Behrman, the ESPN gambling guru himself, will be on this DolphinsTalk.com YouTube channel with their show, Pick 6, making all the picks for this weekend. Check out Josh and David Behrman on Pick 6. Sorry, my phone's going off. I'm just making money left and right. My phone's going crazy with tips and inside information. Check out tonight on the DolphinsTalk.com YouTube channel. Josh Katzker, David Behrman, Pick 6 around 10:30 Eastern time. If you're not going to be up that late tomorrow morning when you wake up, having your morning cup of joe, watch it here on the Dolphins Talk YouTube channel. And always remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel and smash that like button. Now, let's get to the league where they play for pay. Week number 1 in the NFL. First game, I think, is a layup. That is the LA Rams minus 7.5 over the Chicago Bears. I'm sorry. I cannot take Andy Dalton on the road against anybody. Tom, I think you, me, Ian Berger, and the rest of the Dolphins Talk staff could beat the Bears week 1. With the Bears on the road. Andy Dalton stinks. He's terrible. The Rams, Matthew Stafford, new team, new coach. I think he's going to have a big opening week, and I like the Rams big. I like them big at home Sunday night over the Bears.
Love it.
Tom, do you hear that? Do you hear that? It is time for the upset special of the week, folks. That's right. Upset special time. Hello! And in this game, all I got to say is I think the wrong team's favored. And when you see that, you jump over this like a teenager on prom night hopping on his date. That is the Philadelphia Eagles +3 over Atlanta. I think Philadelphia's going to win the game outright. How do you like them apples? But I'll take the 3 just because they're giving it to me. I think the Falcons stink on defense, and I think Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts will have big, big, big days. the Philadelphia Eagles are a team that's going to run the ball like they never run the ball. They're going to run the ball like a team you've never seen run the ball before, and the Falcons cannot stop anybody. The Eagles +3 is my upset special. They're probably going to win the game outright, but so you could take them on the money line, make some real money. But my pick, we're going to hedge our bets since it's week 1 a little bit. We're going to take the points just to play it safe, but I think Philadelphia wins. And to close it out, my stone cold lead pipe lock of the week. And this one you can bet your kids' college tuition money on. That is, take the Carolina Panthers -4 over the Jets. I am sorry. The Jets on offense have no skill position players, and Jamison Crowder's out this Sunday. It was announced, so they're down 1. And Tom, I'd give you $1 million, and I'd give you a Trevor Lawrence rookie card, perfectly centered autograph, if you could name one player in the Jets cornerbacks. Name one Jets cornerback. Don't waste your time. You can't. Nobody's heard of any of these guys. And they're all going up against Christian McCaffrey's 100%. Robbie Anderson's back with his old quarterback, Sam Darnold. And DJ Moore is going to light up the NFL this year. The Carolina Panthers are going to run roughshod over the Jets week 1. Sam Darnold's going up against his own team. He's pissed off and motivated. And I don't think this game's going to be within 3 touchdowns. Take the Panthers -4 over the Jets.
I like it. And what, you mentioned the DolphinsTalk.com staff could beat the Chicago Bears. What was the nickname you gave me?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Football, the Western.
Oh, the Western New York Legend?
The Western New York Legend. Yes.
Who throws left and eats right or something? What was it?
This right arm could laser it in about
throws right
down the field.
Throws right, eats left. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm crazy. All right, let's get into my picks of the week, and let's start with probably the biggest gimme for me this week. The Seattle Seahawks straight up against the Indianapolis Colts. It's a 3-point spread. The Seahawks on the road. Indianapolis is, I mean, if it's not the Baltimore Ravens with bad luck, it is the Indianapolis Colts. And the Colts have had nothing but bad luck this entire offseason leading up to week 1. Yeah, Carson Wentz is playing, but do you really trust him? Do you trust him against this Seattle Seahawks team? And granted, I think the Colts will be a decent team this year, but in week 1, Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Chris Carson, you name it, this team is going to score points in bunches against the Indianapolis Colts in week 1. Take Seattle on the money line. The next one, this one I think is just as easy. This is like cheating off your teacher's your teacher's test, with all the answers on it. Minnesota -3 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Why? Because Jamar Chase can't catch a football that doesn't have stripes. And he plays for a team that has freaking stripes on the helmet. Let's just put it this way. Minnesota has a powerful offense. Yeah, I know Kirk Cousins is the quarterback, but who on Cincinnati is stopping Dalvin Cook? Who's going to cover Justin Jefferson? How about Adam Thielen? Hell, I don't even think there's a guy on that defense that's going to cover Chris freaking Herndon. Minnesota Vikings is going to obliterate Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals on their field in week 1. And, Mike, my hearing might be a little bit off here, but Tommy also has an upset special this week. And what is that special? It's easy. It's the Miami Dolphins +3 over New England. Mac Jones' first start against Brian Flores' defense. Brian Flores' defense led the NFL last year in takeaways with 29. They're going on the road against the Patriots, which are going to be without another starting corner. So not only are they down Stephon Gilmore, now they're down another guy. And that could lead to some disaster because without your top corner, J.C. Jackson's a good corner, but without your top guy there, who's covering Devontae Parker? Who's going to cover Jalen Waddle in the slot? Kyle Van Noy? Are you kidding me? Tua's going to throw those short to intermediate passes and let these guys go to work. And I think the Dolphins should cover that 3-point spread in Foxborough.
Yep, so that's it. That's this week's picks. Just a rundown before we end this show. College, South Carolina -2.5 over East Carolina. Purdue -34.5 over UConn. Boston College -37 over UMass. Those are my 3 for Tom. Penn State -22 over Ball State. Buffalo +14 over Nebraska. Georgia, UAB over 44. And in the NFL, baby, we got the Rams -7.5 over the Bears. Philadelphia +3 over Atlanta. And the Stone Cold Lead Pipe lock for Mike Carolina -4 over the Jets. And for Tom, we have Seattle on the money line over the Colts. Minnesota -3 over Cincinnati. And his Stone Cold Lead Pipe lock was Miami +3 over New England. Everyone, once again, betus.com, promo code Dolphins Talk, 125% sign-on bonus, as well as paying by crypto, Dolphins Talk 200 is a promo code, 200% sign-on bonus. And everyone, tune in tonight, 10:30 Eastern, DolphinsTalk.com YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribed. We have the show with Josh Katzker and David Behrman, Pick 6, where they give you more gambling insight for the weekend, specifically, easy for me to say, specifically about the Miami Dolphins and some other bets as well. So check that out. Pick 6 tonight, 10:30. Josh and David Behrman from ESPN. Everyone, we were 5-1 against the spread last week. Like I said, make money with us. Let us help you. Make money with us. Get your bets in, betus.com, and have some fun this weekend, man. This is what it's about. We got college football Saturday, NFL football Sunday. Check out all of it and make money with us here at DolphinsTalk.com each and every week. So that's it for this week's show. Everyone, have a prosperous weekend of making some change, and we'll talk to you again after a while.